I had just turned 40 in November, found out I had cancer in January.
No, had no idea. Just came out of the blue.
It was pretty bad when I was diagnosed. I was about as far off as you could be.
I was 49 years old when I was diagnosed with cancer, and it was a rough thing.
All you hear is the word cancer, and everything sounds like a huge hill.
I thought I was tough. I thought, oh no, nothing's going to slow me down.
Well, it was a very terrible thing to happen to me.
I was in stage 1. I was fortunate enough that I noticed it myself, saw my doctor, and within a couple of weeks I knew everything that was going on.
I did have support from my kids. I think I wished I would have asked for more, but I was too proud to ask for people to come with me, so.
It's okay to be angry, it's okay to be sad, and it's okay to be, let's just do this, whatever. It's okay to not cry.
Breast cancer is not just for females. I'm 6'6", 265 pounds. I'm a big guy, played every sport, and I had breast cancer, and I'm not embarrassed at all about it. And honestly, I couldn't have been more prepared to have breast cancer, and it's still a shock.
It's important that you take your health seriously. I had a problem and I knew it months before. I knew something was wrong with my breasts. And by the time I found out, it could have been too late. You have to find out early in order to be okay. That's what's important.
I talked to my family to help me to go through this situation, and they supported me. And they still supporting me.
People that are diagnosed with cancer don't think it's the end of the world, because it's not. It's the beginning of life for me. It had me look at life differently and more positive than I was before. And so don't take any minute for granted. Just live it to the fullest.
It's not being prepared for someone telling you have cancer, it's how you're going to deal with it. You know, do you have the personal strength and the family strength?
You have overcome. You have triumphed in the face of adversity. And you've made a choice to not let this define you and take the light and the truth and the love out of your life.
I had my family and good close friends, and they were there for me no matter what. Even though they didn't know how to help me, they were there.
I was blessed. I had my husband, my children, my extended family, and my church. And they made a difference. I had someone with me at every treatment. I had someone bring meals in on chemo days, which rocked. Not for me, because I couldn't eat them, but everyone else could. It's important to have that, and if you don't, search out these organizations that can be that support system, so that maybe survivors like me can help someone else.
You learn to grab on tight to the things that really matter, and the money and the cars and all those kind of things don't really mean anything. It's your health and your family members and your friends. That's what's the most important thing.
My husband is fantastic, and without him, I would not have been able to do any of this. He is my rock.
My mother-in-law had breast cancer and been in remission and came back, and she was struggling on her second round of breast cancer when I was diagnosed, and that dear woman helped me and counseled me and told me it was coming, and it basically made me try to be more of a man to take it as well as she did.
I got closer to the Lord. I got closer to my family, and I had more confidence in myself. I'm happy every day, every second, every minute of my life.
And some people struggle to make this discernment, to choose between these two. There's a model in psychology called the ABC model, and it works like this. A is an event, something happens to you. B is the meaning that we give to that event. And then C is how we carry that meaning into future events, how we see the rest of the world because of those experiences. And those choices will determine our future.
I have to be more active. And so this type This type of event is part of my support group. Coming out to a luncheon, coming out and talking to you is my support. I can already feel my endorphins have just raised, exponentially, and I feel much better. I know I'm going to feel great.
I couldn't work. I mean, I was still working, but I had to really downsize the amount of hours I worked, and so financially, it really was big. It was a hard time. And so the Hope Supply, but it's not just that they give you things, it's the fact that, like they said inside, you get to meet the women that work there, and you become friends, and you see just how caring they really are. And it's just amazing how nice people are. Sometimes you forget because there are mean people, but then they're the kind of people that remind you that they really are there to help you. They really are invested in the programs and wanting to do for you.
If you know anybody that has cancer, be a friend, put out a hand. You don't have to say anything, you don't have to be embarrassed. Just walk up and give them a hug. I guarantee anybody who has breast cancer, anybody who has a loss of hair or all their hair gone from going through chemotherapy, they will appreciate your hug. You don't need to say anything. You don't need to be embarrassed. Be their friend. Hug them, let them know that you appreciate them, and it'll make their day better, and it'll make yours. And hopefully someday you won't be in their shoes and need that help too.
It's been a really interesting experience, and I hope to pray that I can pay it forward somehow.
Just because you get the dreaded diagnosis does not mean that it's the end of the road. There's so much more support than I ever thought there might be.